Hey guys, this is Rosa Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to decorate our folio together. I'm going to be using the Glamour collection by Authentic. I just love the colors, love the black. It has a lot of breakfast at Tiffany's vibes to it. So that's what I'm going for. And yeah, so I hope you guys join along and let's get right to it. Welcome back to the channel. So if you missed the tutorial for this folio, I'm gonna link it down below. We worked on this a few days back and now we're gonna decorate this together. So I started adding the paper collection on some of the places that I needed before moving on to like the next step, like for example on this background here, and then I believe I also did the pop-up page, but everything else is still playing. So we're going to start filling up some of the places like these opening pages and things like that, and then of course we are going to work on the cover. So typically what I do is I measure the page, or if I remember the size of the page, that's also good. Typically I don't remember. So for example, any page, like the cover will be, I believe this is 8.5 by 6, and so when you cut your paper you're gonna reduce it by 1/4 inch on each direction. So it will be, instead of 8.5, you're gonna cut your paper at 8.25, and instead of 6 you're gonna cut your paper at 5.75. That's basically the rule, or how I like to cut my paper, because I like to see a little bit of the black around it for these type of projects. And so that is basically what I'm going to do, but first I'm going to fill some of the places, like I said, that I designed specifically to put some of the 4x4 images on this collection. So you can of course work with any collection that you have, and if your design paper has more of like a 4x3, you can either use the 4x3 and add 2 little, different paper on the side, or you can just simply, instead of making these a 4.25 by 4.25, you will make it a 4.25 by 3.25. That way you can fit your 4x3 perfectly in there. So I'm just gonna cut this piece here, and some of these I'm going to be inking around. Probably won't do this for every page, since I want this to be pretty quick and simple. Usually it takes me longer to add the paper than to design the whole book and record the whole book. So we'll see how this goes. I'm really good about making blank books, but usually, yeah, decorating takes me a lot longer. So I actually have a lot of books that I have made tutorials for that I haven't finished decorating, and they're just sitting on my what do you call this, incomplete projects shelf. And so yeah, so there's a few of those. Now we also need a 4x4 for the back, so maybe I'll just use this here. So let me take this out, and let's cut this at 4. Okay, and just a little bit of ink around. So yeah, so that is what I'm going to be using. Let me know what collection you're using for this little folio. I would love to know. If you also finish the folio and want to send me pictures, you can do that on my Facebook group that I have, and also you can tag me on Instagram or Facebook, or I guess TikTok now. You can do that as well. And so yeah, so I am just adding these. So I'm trying to go through my stash. This year is definitely the year that I am going to be going through my stash, because I did this stash not too long ago, and I kept the papers that I really want to work with. So if I don't work with those, those are probably gonna go on a dish stash pretty soon. But I had completely I forgot that I had put my most beautiful papers on a different bookcase that I bought, one of those that open to the wall. I think they're from IKEA. I'll see if I can insert a clip here, but I just completely forgot that I have papers there. And yeah, so I guess my stash is probably double what I thought it was. And so that is one of the goals, to go through my stash. And of course, I'm excited about the new kits coming to the website as well. So little tutorials like this, I will be using some of my papers from my stash. So if some of these collections are outdated, I apologize. Hopefully you guys have something similar on your stash as well, or maybe you can still find these collections somewhere in the internet. Okay, so I'm just pulling all of the papers away. I can see what I want to use for my cover, and I already know that I want to use the image here for the cover. I think I love that. And so I want to see, yeah, that's the one that I want to use, what this will look good against. So I'm thinking either this one with a little black outline like that, or we can do like a more flowery background with this. I don't know, or there's something more like on the vintage. I think this will be good for the back of the folio. And also sometimes I keep frames that I love to put on the center. I'm not sure if I have any black frames, so I don't think I have any of that anymore, but I do have quite a lot of bling on my stash. Like I have pearls, and I want to see if I can incorporate some of those little pieces, because again, I want to make this book really glam. And so we'll see. So I'm just gonna keep them out here and kind of have them as inspiration. So maybe I'll go for this for the cover, and I'm going to cut these here at 8 1/4. Okay, so by 5 3/4, and so that will be the size for this page. Okay, and I'm going to ink. Then for the back cover, maybe I'll use this one. Okay, continuing with the whole black theme, so 5 3/4. And then I'm going to need probably a couple of these, because okay, so we have the back, and then we also have the inside here. So I'm going to start gluing the back piece. Okay, so this one, let's do this one right here. Okay, I already love it. Love these colors. Okay, so then we're gonna do this piece. And so one of the things that I do when I'm designing these little folios is I kind of decide if I want to add a lot of embellishing to the cover. Like on this book, I want to add some of these embellishings that have more volume, and this is why I decided to do this flap opening instead of just doing my folio to be side to side like this, because I want all of that bulky flowers or embellishments that I'm going to add to not be on the way when you open your folio. It's going to be on the top, so you can make this really bulky because it won't matter if it opens all the way or not. It's just gonna stay back there, and it's not really going to affect any of the moving pieces of your folio. So that's something to keep in mind when you're designing your folios. And even for your albums, I kind of have the same concepts, like what is going to happen when you open the book after you add all of those beautiful embellishments, right? Okay, so now I'm going to glue this one. And somebody asked me what size magnets I use. So I use for this entire folio the 10 by 1 millimeters. So you do have to add a couple of layers because it's not that strong, but I'd rather use these flatter magnets than to use the big 10 by 2 that just adds too much bulk to the page. Okay, so that's gonna close like that. I'm not gonna do anything for the sides yet, and then we're gonna work on these two sides here. So for this one, I can use the other side of the cover, and we're gonna cut this one also at 5 3/4. Okay, so that one is gonna go here. So we're gonna put that one right here. Now on the inside, this section is going to be the exact same size as that. So maybe I'll choose another design to kind of change it up a bit. Let's see. I don't think there's a lot of different designs on the collection. I do like this one, so we're gonna cut this also at 8 1/4 here and 5 3/4, and then so that one is going to go on the back right there. But for this side, we're gonna cut this one at 5 1/2. Okay, so there we go. So now we can glue these two pieces. And so here we go. So you can see how the book is starting to get a little bit of life to it and a little bit of color. Let's see. So there's some designs, to be honest, that I don't like as much. Like this one, I don't like. But I think the black is really hard to see on the black cardstock. Actually, I can see it, so I'm gonna use this black for the center, and I'm going to, so this is 4 1/2 by 7, and so we're gonna cut the cardstock at 6 3/4 by 4 1/4, right? So 4 1/4. Okay. And so that way, again, we're reducing by 1/4 inch on each side. So now we're just going to add these 2 pieces here on the inside. Might as well continue with the color combination there. Normally when I'm going to add pictures, I just keep it white or solid cardstock, but because I'm actually trying to use up this paper collection, I'm just gonna add it everywhere I can, because I actually have 2 pads of this same paper. Okay, so here I believe this measures 5, so yeah, so this is 5 inches and this is by 8.5. So I'm going to use this design here again. So we're gonna cut this 8.25 by 4.75. Okay, so 1 and 2, and let's bring this back. So when I'm decorating my book, usually I normally just like to just watch some TV or put an audiobook on, and because I don't know if you guys like to see these decorating videos, I'm happy to do them. I just think that I don't know how interesting it is to watch me glue paper. But I am giving you the measurements, so hopefully you guys are crafting along and decorating your little folios with me. So this one will go here and they kind of coordinate, and so let's just add this right here. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so now we gotta do these here. So these 2 will be the same measurement. So what I'm thinking is, let's see, I don't think I have scraps on these. So we're gonna have to do something with these scraps. But I'm thinking of doing like 1 color for the back and then 2 colors for the sides. So maybe we can use this one for the sides. And then I'll find something for the middle. Oh, this one. Okay, I love that one. And so yeah, so one of my crafty goals, I want to say, it's to use up my paper, right? And I hope that I can I mean, it's never a struggle. I don't mind collecting my paper because some of those papers I honestly don't want to use them, but some they kind of have to, you know, get you know, they're just so pretty. It's sad that they are sitting on the bookcase, and to be honest, I forgot that I had this paper. Okay, so I cut 2 at 8.25 by 4.75, and this one was 5.5 by 8.25 for the back here. And we're just gonna glue these 2 like that. I think that looks pretty like that. You could also use the back, ooh, which is also really pretty, but we already used that. Actually, I'm gonna use it, and then I still have more of these papers, so I can use that on the inside, on the other side of the folio. So yeah, so let me know if you guys have any crafty goals, like using your stash. Using your scraps is another good one, because I always save my scraps, and I have little containers with scraps that I am hoping to use. So normally I will use those on like my journals, but lately I have just been journaling by writing things down and not decorating my journals too much. So I don't know, let me know if you guys want to see some using your scraps, paper scraps ideas. I remember I did some happy mail before using scraps, and I just, you know, created little cute little things to send on happy mail. That was really fun. Okay, so this section is finished, and this one is the pop-up. Now for the pop-up, we can add some of these paper, I think. So the pop-ups are 4 by 5, so we're gonna cut 2 pieces at 5 or 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. Okay, 3 3/4. And somebody asked me, how do you add pictures to your pop-up? So basically, just like you will glue these pages, you could glue your 2 pictures in there, or you could add like a little place for pictures here. So for example, I can cut 2 of these, or maybe just some solid cardstock, but I will do it with this. And then maybe get 2 pieces of 3, maybe 3 by 4, or let's just do 3 by 3.5, let's say. And I will just put it here and pretend this is your picture. Glue that there, and then you can glue this to your pop-up. Okay, so maybe I'll just glue this down and then show you. And of course you can just glue the picture directly, you don't need the layering. But this would also look cute as a little Polaroid right there. Right, it kind of looks like a Polaroid, and you can put a picture. You can maybe put a little quotes there or sentiment. Let me do another one. And so I did 3 by 3.5, and I'm gonna put that one here. And I'm just doing the ink to get like a little outline before I glue it. But you want to glue this flat, okay? Don't put any volume on this. Okay, so we're just gonna do this one. Okay, and I don't think this collection had any like sentiments or quotes that are like small enough. These are all big, so I probably won't use that, but I will now just go ahead and glue this here. Okay, so it looks like Polaroid. That black, it's really hard to see on the camera, but it has some design to it, so it looks pretty in person. On the video, not so much, it just looks black. But so you will glue one on each side. Okay, so it will be a lot easier to add your picture here and then just glue the whole page down at the end and add a little quote in there or a date or something. And then maybe I can add this one. So let's see, let me cut let me cut this piece here. Let's take this out, just outlining that, and then I can put just one of the quotes on the page, and then we can always just glue the sides and leave one side open. Okay, so we can add like a little picture there as well. Maybe I'm gonna cut this one. Okay, so we can have it as a little photo area. So this one can just go right in there like that. Okay, and then you can put a picture there as well. And that's gonna be that side. And now we're gonna open that up and work on this section here and this one. And so what makes this book so fun to work with is that, you know, the same, you're gonna cut 4 pieces of the same size for this, 4 pieces for this, and 4 pieces for that, right? And then you cut 2 pieces for this size because you have the front and back, so it makes it a little bit easier to work with if you want it as a fast little project. And so here I can probably put another one of these since I have 2. So for the first layer we're gonna do 7 1/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, so I'm gonna do 2, but you probably need 4 of those, but I'm just gonna start with those 2 for now because everything is falling here. Okay, so let's get this one here. Okay, so again you will need 4 of the same size, so 1 for the front, for the back, front and back. I am just going to do this one. Okay, and then we're going to add, or I want to add this image. Okay, just to add a little bit of the collection, bring a bit of the design into this second set. And then for the rest I will just do the paper only. Okay, so that one looks really cute. Here we go. So for the next level we're gonna cut 2 pieces at 6 1/4 by 4 3/4, and I'm gonna use this one here. Okay, and let's bring this over, and we're gonna glue those over here. Okay, so this is the back of the black, but I'm gonna go for the lighter color. There we go. And so again you're gonna need 4. Okay, and then the next level is going to be 2 pieces or 4 pieces, and these are going to be 5 1/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, so we are reducing by 1 inch, and then I'm just going to use the black side for this one. Oh, this one's actually smaller now that I remember. This one is let's see, this one was 4 1/2, so I'm going to cut these 2 by 4 1/4 instead. Okay, and there we go. So now I'm gonna use the black side. And again we have 1 and 2, and I'm not adding magnets on these small layers. I don't think we need them. Okay, so I'm saving on magnets here. Okay, so there we go, and that is that. So now I'm gonna work on the center layers, and let's see here. Oh, let me actually, the centers are all the same, and I think these are 5 3/4, so those are gonna be 5 1/2. So the first one is going to be 7 1/4, okay, by 5 1/2, and so we're gonna need 2 of those. Okay, so we have 2, and okay, so the next one is going to be 6 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so again 2 pieces of those, 6 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then we're gonna do 2 pieces, and I'll probably use this side here. The last one is going to be 5 1/4. So let me cut that like this. 5 1/4, also by 5 1/2. Okay, and so now we can glue all of these. So 7 1/4 by 5 1/2, 2, 6 1/4 by 5 1/2, and 5 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we have 2 of each, and now we're gonna start with this one. Okay, so let's see, I'm gonna do this here. Let's glue this down. Okay, so here we go. And then we're gonna do the other one on the back. So I'm just gonna add this one. So again, same size. So it does make it a bit fast to decorate. Okay, now we're gonna do this center one, and I'm going to use this one. Okay, and then we're gonna do the back here. So for the back, I will use this design. Okay, and then we're going to do the inside. So for the next one, I'm going to use that, and then for the back, we're gonna use this one here. Okay, and here we go. Okay, and so now we're gonna finish up with the bottom piece here. So I am going to do this one. So we're gonna cut 2 pieces at 5 1/2. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this out. So this one is about 5 1/2 by 4 1/2. I'm gonna put this one inside the pocket. So let's glue this down. So 5 1/2 by 4 1/2, and we're just gonna glue that one here. Okay, and then this little piece measures 3 inches. So we are going to do, I'm just gonna cut this one here, 2 3/4 by 5 1/2, and we are going to put this little piece right here. Okay, and I do have a sentiment that's small enough to fit, and let's see, there's 2. See the other one? I like both. I love this sentiment here. I mean, they're both really cute. So I'm gonna do this one on this pocket. Okay, so we're gonna do that. And there we go. Let's put that one right there. and then I will add this one maybe over here. Let's just cut this a little bit. And so we're just gonna glue this one down. And so here we have the magnets. So you probably just want to add like a picture there, but not too many layers. Okay, and so there we go. So we have the pocket on the back, we have these. I'm gonna add those two, but we also need to add this 1 inch section here. So that is a 1 inch, or we're gonna cut, I'm just gonna use scrap pieces for that. So this will be yeah, those are 1 inch. I just want to double check. So we're gonna cut this at 3/4 by 5.5, and let's see, put that right there. Okay, so let me bring this over here. So we're gonna glue that one. And so then I just need a piece cut at 8 by 5.5, and this piece is going to go on the back of this page here. Okay, so that's gonna go back there. So 8 by 5.5, and so we are just going to glue this one right here. Okay. So there we go. And so I'm gonna use this little piece of scraps. So you want this to be 5 3/4 and by 1 here for this top section. So let me open this up so I can see where I'm gonna glue this, and we're just going to add this piece. And next we're gonna just finish up with the cover. Okay, so let's close this up and work on the cover. So I just wanted to show you all of our scraps here. So I'm probably gonna be saving this since we have quite a lot, maybe for another, maybe a small little mini. It would be kind of fun to work with this. Let me know if you wanna see something like that. But now we're gonna work on our cover. So I have the other image. So this collection has 3 sheets of each. So I use one on the inside, and I'm gonna use one here. And I went ahead and grabbed all of my pretty little bling that I think will go with this, or trims I should say. So I have this black one with like pearls. Look how pretty they look against the lights, and so I think against the white cardstock that looks really pretty. Then I also have this other one that's more like bling, and I'm thinking this one can be here on the spine, although my spine it's probably a little big, but we can just put it on the center like that. That will work. So I'm actually gonna cut a piece, well maybe, but let's see. Then I also have this one, and this one probably, yeah, this one is probably a little too big, too much. Then let's see if I can put that one maybe on the inside here. I do want to keep my inside pretty flat, but maybe I can do just one little piece there, and it will still magnetize. So we'll see how this turns out. Okay, so mainly I want to add the image, and probably use this other pearl trim to kind of go around as a little, make it look like a little frame. So we can do that. Maybe I'll put it a little bit lower, and then I can add this one. I'm not sure, so I'm just gonna play with this and see what we come out with. So I'm just gonna cut a piece, and before I lay it all down, you can just kind of see. So I think this one is definitely gonna be a no. And then I have this other one, just like a little scrap. So maybe this one will be a good option for the inside, since this one is a little bit more flat. Okay, so that one's a yes. And then this one will be for the spine here. Okay, so I'm gonna cut. Okay, so I'm just going to add the glue here. Okay. And just put the blink right there. Oh, I love it. Really pretty. Okay, so we have one. So I will put this one there. So I'm just gonna add just a little bit of glue, since this one is pretty see-through. I don't want all the glue to be showing, so just a little bit. And we can put this one along the top right there. Okay, and so I'm gonna let that dry and work on this. Here I'm going to add these pearls all around. Okay, and I just added this one. I don't know where it came from. It might have been Hobby Lobby, but I just had a little piece left, so yeah, I'm not sure where it came from. But I think I'm going to reduce this a little bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna take out that. So this is about 5.5 by 4. Okay, and I do want to give this a little bit of volume, so I'm going to use chipboard to kind of glue this here on top. Okay, let's glue this down. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that right there, and then I can cut this. Let's see here. Okay, and that way we have a nice heavy base and just adding a bit of volume. And now I can glue my pearls. so now I'm just going to glue this whole thing down. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it right at the center. Here we go. My pearls are still kind of wet, so I'm not moving them too much. And I'm just gonna open this up so I can hold it and press down on this here. Okay, so there we go. That is going to be right there. And then I want to add these little bling pieces, so maybe I will just do the heart. I think that looks beautiful. Let's see if the pearl, I mean, I already know I like this heart and I've been wanting to use it for a while, so I might just go for that. Although the lock is really cute too, but I'm just gonna go for this. And so there you go. So I'm just gonna wait for this to dry a little bit, and now I'll come back and do a final walkthrough of the whole folio. I hope that you guys enjoyed decorating this book with me. I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial as well. I will link it below in case you missed it. And before I go, I do have a fun announcement because I have a lot of you asking me about the Galentine's event. So the Galentine's event is an event, a scrapbook event that I do every year. So it's online, and basically we get together and craft sometime around Valentine's Day. So I am waiting to kind of get the final schedule for my daughter's volleyball, since they have a few tournaments next month, to make sure that I don't have anything on the weekend that I'm planning on doing it. And then I'm gonna send an announcement on my website so you guys can register for the event. It will be a full day crafting. We kind of create a project from start to finish, and I'm also creating a kit to go with that, so you can either register for just the event and craft with me using your stash, or you can also get the kit that I'm gonna be working with as well. So I'll have all of that info on my website once it's ready, so just wait for the email announcement. It is a limited amount, and so make sure that you register right away if you're interested. And so yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.